In episode 3 of Google Apps Education, we'll talk more about logging observations for premium animal care. The capacity of the Google Education app to log observations is what makes it so crucial to our work here at Big Cat Rescue. Under observations, we have broken down the different types of observations into 4 different charts. And the reason for that is that we have over 100 big cats. And so in order to be able to access just the parts that we need to access without seeing everything else all in one place, we've made it into 4 separate charts. But you could do this in any number of ways. So the one that our volunteers most access are the food and feces. And as the volunteers go out and clean the cages in the morning, they make notes as to anything that they see that's out of the ordinary. And then they come back in at the end of their shift and they can add items, which will then show up down here in this list. We have a customized list set up for them that they choose the date, the species of animal. I've already filled all of these in with the different types of species, with the cat's names, and we filled in the cat's names, the amount of food left, and what we've done is separated it into the types of food that they get, the amount of food left. We have a system by where we can say there was a ping pong ball size or a golf ball size or a racquetball size, rather than everybody using their own interpretation of what was a lot or what wasn't a lot. Under feces, we have all of the different descriptions that we typically would see. And the note detail is where they can add a text field that tells more details. There's also a field where they report by, so that means that they would fill in their name here. You can set how these things sort down here. Choose Save. So if I wanted to sort by species, I could do that right here. And this would show you all of the bobcats, then the caracals, then the civets. They're in alphabetical order. But where we find this the most helpful is under the cat's name. If a cat is not doing well and we need to go back and see if there's been any history with that cat not doing well, we can see here with Ace, I think she's a 20-year-old bobcat, that she showed up on the chart July 29th, again August 5th, August 8th, August 6th, and this was detailing the food that she had left behind. Over here where it says can't find, it doesn't mean we couldn't find the cat, it meant they didn't find the feces. It's in the feces list here. We can also sort by the detail, we can sort by who's reporting, who's not reporting, and try to keep track of whether or not people are really being observant out there. Adding an item is very easy. The volunteer just comes here and clicks Add Item. They choose the date. I was out there yesterday and I saw a caracal whose name is Kachanga, and the feces were runny, reported by, and hit save. And then it'll show up here under Kachanga. Some issues that you may know that are ongoing and you don't want somebody to add it to the calendar or add it to the observations every day, such as we know that our lion males are not eating well right now, so we can edit this portion above the observation chart so that they aren't entering that information that we are already aware of. We also give them a little explanation here of how to add to the chart, even though they've gotten that training before. And with anything that could be an emergency in bright red, we put here that they need to contact their coordinator on the radio immediately or call the operations manager. It's also easy to make a correction to an item, such as this one. She put in here that it was Sophia, but did not put the species or the name, so we can go back in here and choose cougar, and that it was Sophia, and hit save. And as you Under the maintenance chart, we can list anything that's going on with the cage, such as a bowl that's leaking. It's in the lockout. It describes a little bit more here that it was Bella's water bowl. Marie and Willow had reported it, and yesterday it was fixed. So I can click here and choose that the manager checked it, which she did, and we fixed it, and save it. Nice thing here is you can choose by, or you can sort by ascending, so that we can see what things are still on the observation chart for the maintenance that need to be repaired, and we can make up a list of these and go out and take care of them. The same things work that way here under observations for the vet. We have an area here for conditions that we know are ongoing, so that they're not entered every single day by the volunteers. Anything that's not a known issue, then they would add the item, and they can again choose by the date, the species, the cat's name, what the note is about, the cat's health, if the note detail that explains a little bit more about what was happening, who reported it, and whether or not it's been checked by the vet here or checked by the manager here. And this is how we make up a list for our vet. When she comes out about twice a week at least, and we will print off this list for her of everything that still needs to be checked. After she's checked on the cat, then she will come in here and mark the item as checked. Same thing with the manager. As she goes out and checks on these things, she'll come back in and mark these as checked. And both of them can do that from their iPhone while they're checking on the cat. It's a little bit cumbersome to do it with your thumbs, so they often will wait until they get back into the office or have a few minutes to update the charts. We have some sites that are completely private, such as the vet care link here. The only people who can see the items in the vet care area are the people who are staff that are trained to dispense medications to the cats or to take care of the cats when they're ill. So this section would not be visible to the rest of the volunteers, but we have it linked on the left sidebar of the main site so that we can get to it. And here we list things that we use all the time, such as the census of the cats. This is an embedded spreadsheet that has all of the cats, their date of birth, when they arrived, their identifier if they have a microchip, what their age is this year, their sex, whether they've been neutered or spayed, claws or no claws. We also have daily med charts. These are for the cats who are daily getting medications. And again, these are only shared with the vet staff that are actually taking care of the animals. Down here you can see the cats are listed by name. So you can click on the cat, see their chart. You can see the initials of the person who gave this cat her prednisone that day. If there are no initials, like this hasn't happened yet, then it'll be blank. So they'll be able to fill that in and put their initials. And we do this for all of the cats that have ongoing issues. We also have past charts so that they can keep up with how things have gone over a period of time. If you're licensed by USDA, you know you have to have your program of veterinary care, so this gives us a place where we can put that right there in our .me site under documents. We have a how-to section on how to give the medications to the cats as a reminder and as a training resource. We also keep our medical inventory here. We keep archives of all of the old records here and a site map so that it's easy to find any of these items. And for the people who are entering information into this area, it would be under observations and med charts, which then takes them to the secure site for the vet logs. So if I click on this, I can actually see what's going on here. But if somebody were to click on that link who did not have permissions, this would come up blank and it would say you do not have permission to see this section. Join us for Chapter 4 of Google Apps Education at bigcatrescue.org.